Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm making this video because even though it's probably not the most popular opinion, it's my experience, and I can't imagine that I'm the only one who feels this way. I recently purchased Shoei Neotec 2 helmet, and this is pretty expensive. I've had modular helmets for a while, but I figured that I'm starting to ride a little bit longer now. I'm getting older, so I prefer comfort, and Shoei is well known for the comfort. So I figured might as well treat myself and see what the hype is all about. So I got this for about, I think it was like $899, uh, which technically it was almost $1,200 because I bought the Cena SRL communication system that comes specifically for the Shoei. And that was about $300. So together is close to 1,200 bucks. So quite a bit of cash. And I was hoping, that I would get my money's worth. And I don't really have a specific problem per se, but I am when I think back and look at the previous helmet that I have, having trouble justifying the value. And let me tell you why. Basing my opinion based on three or four categories. So, what is the safety, features, comfort, and budget? From the safety component, I mean, they're both DOT certified. By the way, I still have like a old HAC helmet that was also DOT certified. I do like the practicality of the modular helmets. I live in San Antonio, Texas, where it gets really freaking hot, and not having to take my helmet off every time I go to the gas station or stop at a stoplight for a long period of time. Be able to get some air in my face, and then riding at low speeds and so on. To me, it just speaks for itself. But I'm coming from a Harley Davidson modular helmet. I don't think this has a specific model or brand besides Harley Davidson. When I look inside, it says Harley Davidson motor clothes. So I guess it's their proprietary version of the helmet, and it did its job. I mean, it's not just DOT certified, but it's also ECE rated, so the same rating as the Shoei, and it has almost the same components. I got this a little over a year ago when I purchased my last bike, and I got it at the same time I purchased the bike, so I got a pretty good discount on it. I got this for maybe $270, and I think MSRP was around 340. So when I combine the little communication system that I purchased on Amazon, it's about $300 even. So I bought this thing called I guess the brand is called JZAC. I've never even heard of it. The model is called BT30, and it's like 30 bucks on Amazon. And to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised. It did its job. I can call people, I can receive phone calls, I can listen to music, and that's all I needed. I My only complaint was that sometimes when I do wear earplugs and have a race to the highest volume, and I have trouble um, listening, not necessarily to music, but if somebody calls me, I have trouble trying to figure out exactly what they're saying. And I figured that if I was to invest in a better system, the experience will be very different. So now moving on, I spoke from the safety perspective. We're both ECE rated. Now let's go to the features, which is sort of what I mentioned. They both have exactly the same features. They both have the visor that comes down. This little thing when it's like really sunny outside. I do gotta say though, for the Shoei, we have the quality of the visor is a lot better. So when I bring this down, which way is it? This right here, I don't know. It doesn't really look much different, but when I put it on, I'm riding. It's amazing. I can not even realize that I have a glass in front of me. It just looks like it's not as sunny. And so the quality of that is very premium. So I do give this to Shoei. But besides that, I mean, it's exactly the same features. They both have about the same type of air circulation. Shoei may be a little bit better when it comes to air circulation, but I not really anything that it's to me $900 difference. So by the way, the helmet plus the communication that I got, it was $300 total. That which is $900 plus 300 on the Cena SRL, that's 1,200. Uh, is it a $900 difference? I don't know, man. If I was to think back, I can probably think of other things to do with that money. Uh, but the crazy thing about it is that not only I don't really see that much of a difference, I kind of like some components of this helmet better. Like for example, like it's very little things. Like when I'm bringing them down the visor, for example, it's very easy to do it here, and especially when I have gloves on, it just comes down much easier. On the Shoei, I have to like look for it and then bring the visor up and down. And I've ridden that with that helmet for almost 2,000 miles by now. So I figured that I would really get used to it by then. But it's still, I still have to fiddle with it when I'm riding, and that's kind of annoying. Another piece is something as simple as that. I mean, I realize I'm nitpicking at this point, but as to bring this portion down, I don't have to grab anything. I can use my hand and then just bring it down, and opens up the airflow in here. Whereas for the Shoei helmet, I have to look for the specific lip. Sometimes I don't find it right away, and there you go, it goes up and down. When it comes to the communication system, that's where I really was disappointed. I mean, this is literally 10% of what I paid for the Cena SRF for this helmet. And the quality of the audio, I really can't tell the difference, man. So it does when I race it to the highest volume, when I'm going at higher speeds, when I have earplugs in, it feels the same. I still can't hear very clearly when somebody's talking to me, and so I have to slow down a little bit, and so I can take the call. I do want to say that the SRL obviously has a lot more features. I can listen to radio. I can connect to other folks. I mean, through intercom if I'm riding with other people. And the newer ones have like even the mesh component. So yeah, I guess you would be paying for that. But for what I use it for, to me, it's like I said, I'm having trouble justifying the price difference. And another thing is that again, I'm nitpicking, but here when I have the SRL and I'm trying to answer calls or change the music or change the volume of the song, see how this is? It's you can feel it, but if you have gloves on, you have to get used to it. So it'll be more like muscle memory as to where the buttons are. They're very close together, and luckily I don't have massive hands. But for people that have big hands, it will probably be even more difficult because I still find myself trying to find where the volume button is if I want to pick up a call or anything like that. It's not as intuitive or to use. Whereas this one right here, it's just I control everything on this bar, and it's about the bar is about 2 inches long, and then the components are very or the buttons are in a very specific area, so I know exactly where everything is. So in a way, it's easier to use this. So, but then again, like I said, it's my preference, my opinion. Not everybody shares the same way, and ultimately to comfort. That is primarily the reason why I decided to go with a Shoei helmet, because I was starting to take longer rides and I wanted something a little bit more comfortable. And it's great, it's pretty comfortable. But weird thing is when I'm riding for anything over an hour, I feel that I'm starting to get a pain in the back of my ears with this helmet. Something that I don't experience with this helmet here, but I do with the Shoei. So anything over an hour and a half of riding, I start developing a pain. I'm like, man. And I know you can highly modify all the different what do you call it, the cheek pads and stuff. You can play around with it to make it adjusted to your comfort level. And one thing I've considered is that maybe I need to change the cheek pads in the front to something a little bit less thick, because obviously I have big cheeks here, and then this probably pushes my head a little bit more backwards than necessary. It's not fitment because one size down of this will be too tight. One size up would have been too loose. So the helmet size itself is great. It's just that, I don't know, it's something in there that is causing pain to the back of my ears. And I don't know if anybody's had the same issue. Feel free to comment and please tell me. I'm definitely open to ideas. I'll probably have to look for cheek pads and try to replace that and see if that fixes anything. But in a way, my $300 helmet is I feel like I can ride longer than my $1,200 helmet. Crazy. Another weird thing, and again, as I'm nitpicking here, is that I realized when I grab my helmet and I walk off, some of the components that you can put in here, like the little cheek pads, they come off very easily. They snap off very easily. I'm constantly, every time I ride, I'm having to like pop it back, and I don't know why. I've never had a helmet that it's like that. Even mine, when I grab it, it doesn't pop off as easily. So it's like maybe it's because it's tended to be highly customizable and they want people to do it easily. But it's kind of annoying because I have to constantly pop things back in place. One portion that I did like about the Shoei though is the easy, the quick release strap, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. But then I looked up on Amazon, and it turns out that I could buy one for this one, and I bought the same thing for like under $10. I think it was like $7, and it took me 10 minutes to replace, and now I have the quick release on here as well. So almost for every justification that I got the helmet for, I see the cheaper Harley Davidson one is the same or better. Again, it's my preference. I do like the finish of this though, by the way. It looks really nice, matches the bike. It has a lot more shell sizes than other helmets. So you don't feel you'd have to wear like this massive helmet if you have a smaller head. So I do like that. But other than that, I'm not impressed. If I was to go back in time, I probably would have picked a different helmet and saved that money somewhere else. But again, this is my very first Shoei helmet. I don't have anything else to compare it against, and so I'm speaking from ignorance here. But it's my experience. So if anybody has any comments and anything that I could improve the comfort level for this, any tips and tricks, feel free to ping me. I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, if you have any questions, ping me, and have a rocking day.